Hi, everybody, and welcome to this exciting episode of the Joyful Money podcast. I am super, super excited. I know I say this all the time on this podcast, but today I promise you, I am so excited. The reason I am so excited is because I have a very special guest. My special guest is Krisie Stanley. She is such an amazing human being, and I cannot wait for you to learn from her wisdom and her journey in building her business. Welcome to the show, Krisie.
Thank you so much, Joy, for having me. I really, really am grateful and I appreciate you. You are an amazing, amazing individual as well, so filled with joy. And I love you. And honestly, I'm really excited for this podcast today.
Awesome, awesome. I love you too, girl. Now, for people that have not heard your name, because if they've been following me on Instagram, they must have seen me highlighting you on my socials. So for those who might not know who you are, why don't you start by introducing yourself?
Hey everyone, so I am Krisie Stanley. I am a certified nutrition practitioner. I specialize in gut and hormone health for both men and women, but mainly women for now. I also specialize in weight management as well. I went into this field because I myself experienced a lot of gut issues and hormonal issues, which led to hormonal issues in the past. And I was following every trend, following every health trend, fitness trend, and nothing stuck until I started getting to the root cause of what was going on with me. And I realized the gut is the core of our health. And if the gut is not functioning well, then your entire body is not going to be functioning well. Yeah. So I really love what I do because there's so much to learn about the body and getting to the root cause and eliminating all the symptoms and not just masking or treating the symptoms is the key to overall health and wellness.
Oh gosh, I love this so much. And I am so excited that you agreed to come on the show because I wanted my audience to learn how their gut health is actually affecting stress. And when we are stressed, obviously, we're not going to show up in our business. So if you have a business, you've been running your business and you find that you're always constantly stressed, you're not able to show up boldly in your business to land those high ticket clients. This is why I wanted Chrissy to come on the show today so she can help you address the reason for your stress so you can show up without needing coffee or all of those caffeinated drinks. So that's why I'm so excited for this conversation today. So, Chrissy, why don't you I want us to delve in deeper because I have also seen that when I am stressed, it all goes back to my diet and how my gut is processing all of my foods. But you are the expert. So why don't you break this down for us? How is our gut health related to the way we handle stress?
Well, gut health, like I said, it's really, really important. When our gut is functioning 100%, our bodies will function well as well. And stress is one of the major, major factor of gut issues. When we look at the world right now, so many people are living in fight or flight mode. We're under a lot of stress. We're stressed about what to eat. We're stressed about what to cook. We're stressed about the job. We're stressed about so many different things. We're stressed when our bodies are not feeling well, right? So when we address stress and start to reduce the stress levels, we're also supporting our gut health as well. Now, if we're eating in a stress state or fight or flight mode, or in fight or flight mode, I should say, the foods are not being digested well, right? When we take that time to breathe, take a few deep breaths, chew our foods properly, or say a prayer right before we have our meals, we put the body in a state of rest and digest, and we're able to digest our foods better, taking our time to chew our foods, making it get mushy. I know some people say 30 to 40 times you chew your foods, but until it gets mushy, that's when you want to swallow it. We're Some of us have very short lunch breaks, and it's hard to take our times to eat the food. Some of us eat on the go, and it's really, really not good. So we have to make that time. One excuse I hear a lot of people say is that they don't have time. They don't have time to eat. They don't have time to really sit down. They have to work, 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 work. Also, the hustle culture, it's not good. It's not good for your business. It's not good for your health. And long term, it can affect you. You don't want to be having setbacks over setbacks over setbacks on something you can fix and prevent that could prevent health issues later on. Make that time, even though you just spend 2 minutes before you eat, to de-stress, to just reduce those stress levels. Take away the phone, take away the screen, and just spend that time eating. You will see a whole difference in your health.
Wow. I love that so much because I can so relate to what you said about us not having time. And I feel like when um, difficult life situations come up, we find the time somehow. I'll give you an example. I used to be the person that, oh my gosh, I'm always busy in my business. I don't have time. And then I had my blood work done, and the doctor called me frantically on the phone and said my iron levels are dangerously low, that I had to come in for an iron transfusion. And guess what? What? I was able to clear my calendar to go get that iron, even though it took me about 3 hours just sitting there and getting iron pumped into my body. So when people say they don't have time, but when life circumstances come up, we are able to clear our calendar to address those things. So I love what you said about so many people saying they don't have time. And I am one of those people as well, especially when it comes to cooking healthy meals. So, for example, if I have to cook my meals from scratch, which I do, just that time of cutting the onions, cutting the tomatoes, cutting the carrots, I feel like I'm wasting time in the kitchen and I'm always thinking, oh, there's a lot more things I could be doing in my business right now than prepping food and cooking all of those things. So I need to hear this as well to say, oh, I need to create time to create a healthy lifestyle for me because ultimately if God forbid we don't have health, we have nothing. Health is the only thing that will help us to actually show up in our business. So I love that so much. So, Chrissy, why don't you tell us how can we start improving our gut health? I know you mentioned about taking a pause when we're about to eat. That's a very good one. But can you give us other strategies that can help us improve our gut health?
Absolutely. So one or other things that we could do, listen to the body. If there's any trigger foods that we're consuming that is contributing to the gut issues, we need to remove them from the diet or take a break from them or reduce them as much as possible. For example, for some people, dairy is they can't tolerate dairy, but they will still have the dairy when when maybe for ice cream or milkshake, they will still have the dairy, right? Look for alternative things like almond milk or coconut milk to support your body so that you could heal your gut in that meantime. And then eventually those intolerances or those allergies will go away. Um, it's not that dairy is bad. Well, raw dairy and the good dairy is not bad. It's just that if our gut is already full of imbalances and have a lot of issues going on, we need to remove some foods from the diet. Sugary foods, ultra processed foods. This is damaging our body so much. And the junk foods are not even considered foods really. They're full of calories and no nutrients there at all. So they're not supporting us. They're actually breaking down the body. And it's almost like filling your car with you think you're going to put fuel in your car, but there's no fuel at all. Maybe it's like what you can put diesel in your car where you need gas, right? And it's almost putting the wrong fuel in the wrong type of fuel in your car and expecting it to function well. It will shut down eventually. Okay. So we need to get the wholesome foods where foods like grains, the legumes, fruits and vegetables, um, pasture-raised meat, poultry, the good, organic foods or humane raised animal products. They're really, really healthy. You don't want to have GMO foods. You don't want to put foods where there's a lot of toxins in there, chemicals, um, food colorings. All these things are causing disease within the body, and it's getting us far and farther away from health and putting us in a state of disease and disorder in the body, and the body's craving for the things that will help it. So when we support the body with fiber, protein, healthy fats, this is what the body wants. Okay, and then we'll be able to function well. Even our brains will be affected in a positive way by eating those healthy foods, and we can function better with our business. We don't have to be stressed. We don't have to be stressed all the time. We can sleep better, and we can have more energy levels, less cravings throughout the day, and we don't have to always reach for that coffee and feel like I need to take a cup or two of coffee a day. You don't need that coffee. If you love coffee, you should be enjoying the coffee and not thinking that I need it. I have to get that coffee to raise up my energy levels.
Wow, wow. I find it so fascinating because just piggybacking on what you just said, I think it must have been 5 years or 3 years ago. It was in the news about celebrities having like someone's poop injected into them so that they can have better gut health. Like, I want you to speak to that. Like, does that work? And what's the benefit of doing something like that?
In some cases, it does work. I've heard a lot. I hope I never have to go through that. But in some cases, it does work. But really, I guess that's where it gets really, really bad. I saw a little video, and it was funny where the husband had to had to give his poop for that. But honestly, in some cases, like I said, it does work. That one, I'm not too big on that. But the doctors know what they're doing, I guess. But we don't need that when we eat healthy, right? When we eat foods that are not ultra processed, when we eat foods that the way nature created it, or the way God created it, we're
Mm,
we're doing the right things for our bodies. And some people might even say, "Oh, but I'm eating healthy and I'm not seeing any results. I am still sick. I'm still under a lot of stress. I still have cravings. Are you eating enough? Are you eating in balance? Right? For me, I could relate to you when you said you had anemia. I had anemia. I was on a diet, a certain diet. It was a vegan diet. It was a vegan diet. I loved it. I tried it out for 6 months with a friend. It was like a challenge, and then I enjoyed it. After 6 months, I tried to eat meat again, and I was just feeling disgusted, and I enjoyed the diet. I'm not going to say it was the worst thing ever in the beginning. It was fun. I loved it. And I had time to cook. I had the time to cook. What I find with the vegan diet, you have to be eating all the time. That's for me. That's my personal journey. 2 years down the line, I'm diagnosed with low iron. And the doctors were concerned. They even told me that they're going to send me to the hospital to get iron infusion if I don't bring it up within, within the next 2 months. After doing that, I realized like, no, I have to, this not working for me. And I was not big on junk food. I'm not gonna lie. I was
mm,
having a little hair, but I'm not big. I was eating really, really healthy most of the time. And I realized that diet is not working for me. And I was depleted. I was depleted in vitamin B12. I was depleted in vitamin D3 levels. I was depleted. So that diet was no longer working for me. I had to go back to eat meat. I realized I was not eating well. I started seeing a naturopath doctor. They told me you have to eat. This is how you have to eat enough protein. And this is where my digestive issues started arising. I started realizing when I'm like, this was what's going on with me, and my hormones started acting up. And I started adding more fats. I was scared of sugar. I'm not gonna lie, I had a bad, a bad relationship with sugar because I'm like scared. I don't want to get diabetes. My dad had, was already diagnosed with diabetes, and I'm not gonna get diabetes. I'm gonna stay away from all sugar. I stopped cooking with salt. I stopped cooking with salt. With the stuff what I was doing, I was depleting myself. I was staying away
mm,
from the, foods that would support my body. The moment I started back eating meat, within a week, I started feeling stronger. My energy level started going up. My protein was increased. My healthy fats were increased. Fiber was increased. I didn't have the low energy levels throughout the day. I started feeling so much better, less cravings. I didn't have to cook all the time. I didn't have to ensure
mm,
that I have snacks over like all over the place to ensure that I'm eating throughout the day. I was satiated and I felt good. And I did not want to go back to that again. I didn't want the doctor to tell me, oh, you have to go to the hospital for iron infusion. So this is where we want to start. You want to ensure that you're eating enough. Because a lot of people come to me and they tell me, oh, I'm eating healthy, and they are eating healthy. They show me the pictures of their foods and they are eating healthy, but they're not eating right, or they're not eating enough for themselves. Okay.
mm. Wow. Wow, I love that so much. So then, so asking for myself. So I know people are listening and they're like, oh, the idea of eating healthy food like sounds good, but how do I do it in a practical way? So I'll give you an example. I cook all my food from scratch.
Mhm.
However, I I don't think I'm incorporating a lot of fresh green vegetables. I feel like if someone could just make me the greens, I would definitely eat it, right? But when I try to like look for companies that do the delivery of fresh greens, like it doesn't really look fresh, right? And it might be very expensive, like to keep it up as a lifestyle, right? So how would you advise someone to be able to incorporate fresh greens into their diet?
Okay, great. Thank you for asking that question, Joy. So I say start off slowly because you have to be, if that's something you were doing in the past, like you had more time in the past and it's easy for you to incorporate now. If it's not easy for you to incorporate, start slowly. I know sometimes you buy the greens freshly in the, in the grocery store, in the farmer's market, and you put it in the refrigerator. You probably had all your plans, so I'm going to do this, but then something came up and it's no way you're going to chop up those vegetables right now. You could add it to soups. You could add it to your stews, your sautés. You could bake them, right? For example, broccoli, cauliflower, you chop them up, you chop them into florets, and you put them on a baking dish or baking sheet pan. You drizzle a little oil over it, olive oil or coconut oil, and you add a little bit of salt and pepper or seasoning to your liking. You bake it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. That's a great way. If you like your broccoli not too mushy, you could just steam it a little and have it on a side with your, you don't have to eat like the broccoli or the cauliflower raw all the time. Your leafy greens like your spinach, your kale, bok choy, all these greens, you could just chop them up, add them to a salad, or saute them in, maybe add them to a stir fry, or fried rice. You could do so many things with them, but don't think that one, if you could only add one, like, throughout the week, just start with one, and then you build your way up to adding two vegetables, three vegetables. You don't have to like eat a ton of vegetables, and it's a lifestyle change. So
Mhm.
it takes time. It takes time. And don't forget, we have our own culture too. I work with clients with their culture and their lifestyle. So if you have a certain cuisine, I'm not going to tell you, oh, you have to do away with this cuisine. And because we know sometimes we feel guilty. For example, in my culture, we love rice. I'm not a big fan of, I was never a big fan of rice, but we love a lot of rice. If you ever go to the Caribbean restaurants, you'll see they give you a ton of rice. You know what I mean? We love rice, right? And we also love a lot of root vegetables. We barely have, like, the vegetables are like, the non-starchy vegetables are like it's like a treat. So now it's now, what will I tell somebody who's coming from a Caribbean culture like myself? L- Eat less rice. If you want the root vegetables, eat less rice. If you want some plantain on the side, have a little bit of plantain, but don't overdo it. Don't eat too much. Maybe quarter of your plate, have a little plantain, a little, like maybe half or three-quarter cup of rice is fine. Have your protein and then have some vegetables on the side, and then slowly have more vegetables and less rice, and slowly increase. But if that's what works for you, just eat like that, one vegetable at a time. Don't overdo it, because this is where you're gonna hate, like, okay, this
Mhm.
healthy thing is too much for me. It's too exhausting. I have to eat a ton of vegetables. No. Are you having enough fiber? You could get fiber from your nuts and seeds. You could get fiber from your legumes. You could get fiber from your vegetables as well, and your greens. So once you're getting enough fiber, you're getting enough protein, you get enough healthy fats, then you'll feel fuller for longer, and then you'll see the difference, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited to try all of these out. So I have, I think, three more questions because I'm just seeing that we're almost at time, but I feel like, oh my gosh, I still have a lot of questions for you. So first is someone's listening and they're like, oh my gosh, I need Chrissy's help. How can they take the next step with you?
So I work with clients on a regular basis. I first do a consultation with, the initial consultation. It entails a full nutritional assessment. After that, I get to see a food diary. If I see there's need for more, I actually, give you a food, like a 3-day food diary, to know exactly how you eat, what you're eating throughout the day. The nutritional assessment is a lot, and there's a questionnaire. It might be, it's called the NutriBody questionnaire. I like to do that questionnaire with clients to see if there's any imbalances in the gut, in the macronutrients, micronutrients, any imbalances in the glandular, in the different glands, like the adrenals, the thyroids, the kidneys, anything going on there, and if there's any systemic or metabolic imbalances as well. This is a great tool. It's pretty accurate, so I like to use it. And I ask a lot of in-depth questions, like the history, your relationship with food, any history of diseases in the families, or any disorders going on in the families, any trauma, because all these things can relate.
Mhm.
I also stress on stress levels and energy levels, because I think a lot, what I've noticed, some people will say, like, oh, I don't get stressed. But when I start working with them, there's a lot of stress going on. And I think people think stress is more of a mental thing and not something that could happen to the body. Yeah, so to work with me, you can you book a consult with me, I will share it with I'll set a link with Joy in the I guess she'll put it in the podcast episode. Yeah, so you could work with me. I do a free 30-minute consultation just so you could get to know me, like a discovery call, and to see if you want to work with me, you get to know me, get to know how I work, and you'll see if this is fit for you. There is a consultation fee when if you decide to move on with me. And I do have different programs. I have a 21-day program that I just launched. It's called Nourish to Revive. I also have a 6-month program which Joy helped me with. Oh my God, it's amazing. Yeah, so I will send the links over to you, Joy, and you can put them in your podcast
Oh,
episode.
fantastic. Now, you just mentioned about your 6 month offer, and I know we worked on that offer together. But what I really want to touch on was your mindset shift because I think it was a week or so after we did that work together that someone joined your program, right? So I want you to talk through the mindset shift that enabled you to send your price because I think you said the person asked for your price via email and you were so confident to share your price and then the person paid. So walk us through how that happened.
Oh, Joy, you are so God sent. When so before I had Joy, honestly, you guys have to work with Joy. Before I had, I came into Joy's master classes and and really spoke with her. I did a free consult with her. Before that, I used to be scared, I felt a little intimidated to let people know my prices because I had that wrong mentality about money. And oh gosh, now it's time to let them know how much I'm charging them. And sometimes I would feel embarrassed because I'm like, okay, what are they going to say? I started like, people's opinion will like, it
Mm.
became a fear to me because of what I've heard in the past. So it's too expensive or I can't afford it. I really want to do it. And then sometimes in the past, I would tend to like go, okay, if you can't afford this, well, I'm going to do this for you or give you a discount. And I was not doing any good to myself. I was actually bringing down the value of myself and my business. Then after Joyce spoke to me, honestly, it's like she turned on a light bulb in my head. And when this potential client reached out to me to ask me the price of my, it was a referral from another nutritionist, and he asked me the price of my program. I did not, no negative thought came to me. I felt confident to just send him the prices, and I never even budged. These are my prices. Here you go, take it or leave it. And from that day on, I think I messaged, yeah, I did message you on Instagram and I let you know. And I felt it's like I broke free from the guilt, from the fear of people, from the fear of people's opinion. I felt so, so free. And thank you so much, Joy, honestly, because another thing you said to me, Chrissy, you have to decide to make money. I have it written down. And I wrote something to myself. Today, I decide on January 14, 2025. I said, today, Krisie Stanley, I decide to make wealth.
Mm.
I decide
Mm.
to make wealth for myself so that I could be a blessing to others. Right. And these words stuck to me. I mean, you hear people say that, but when Joy spoke to me, it was like she was speaking into me. And she was just enforcing something that has been there to come out. It was like, that's how honestly, that's how I felt when you spoke to me, Joy, during that call. And I have never been the same again. I don't feel uncomfortable letting people know the prices. And when people do tell me, although I haven't gotten that, because I feel like when you have that shift, I listened to your podcast. I can't remember what episode. And you said basically when you had a client that had that issue with money and she was wondering why she's not making money, why she's attracting clients who don't have money. And I'm like, I'm wondering if this was the same thing that I was doing, like because I was so fearful to let people know the prices, maybe these are the people I was attracting. And I don't
Mm.
get that. I only got that once after I don't get that anymore. And I'm
Yes.
hearing a lot of the, oh, it's too expensive. I don't get that anymore. Though when you have that energy, it's totally different, honestly. And thank you. I know I've said thank you a million times, but thank you. I cannot thank you enough, honestly.
Wow. Like I was just getting very emotional as you were speaking because I can see your energy. And I am so grateful that I'm not even sure where we found each other. I think it was in Steph
It's so, yeah.
Gass's program. So I am just so grateful because I can see you shining your lights. Like now, when I watch your Instagram videos, I'm like, who is this girl? Like the confidence you show up in
Thanks
those
to
videos.
you.
And I am so proud of you. And listeners, please, I'm going to link. Chrissy's Instagram. Go follow her. She's such an amazing human being. And even though she has a regular 9 to 5, guys, so like you do not have any excuse not to build your business. Chrissy is doing this alongside a 9 to 5 job. And I think she's blessed because her 9 to 5 is also in line with the work she's doing now, her gut health practitioner work. So she's in such a good place, and I am so grateful. Chrissy, before I let you go, tell us about your entrepreneurial journey. How did you choose this niche for yourself?
So, like I said, I had gut issues, but I was always interested in nutrition because of how my mom raised me. My mom raised us to, cook our foods, not eat too much junk foods. And she was always doing these detoxes with us throughout the year, like every 6 months during summer break or the December break, we would have to do a detox. And I mean, I didn't see the great deal in that until I moved to the States. I lived in New York for about 13 years. And when I started having the gut issues, called my mom, and some of the things she told me is like, you need to stop eating that junk food. Like you never used to be eating fast foods and all these things. Like, stop eating that junk food. And and I was always, telling people about eating healthy and stuff like that and making time to cook. But because I lived in New York, I got into the fast-paced life. I loved it. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it. Will I do it again? No. But I really, really loved being there. I loved running for the train, getting the bus, always rushing to get a taxi, rushing to get all these things. I was working really long hours, over 10 hours, 12 hours a day, most days, Monday to Friday, and some on weekends as well. And I was not, it was not really the junk food that caused it. It was really me skipping meals. So I would have breakfast, but lunch would be like a struggle for me sometimes because I wouldn't feel hungry. So I'd be like, okay, I'm fine. Or I got into the habit of eating on the go, which was not good. Um, Quick like wraps and, salads, eating and trying to rush through my foods because again, I put work first before my health. And so when I started healing my body, fast forward, I started healing my body. I started seeing the benefits of health and eating
Mm,
healthy foods and following a healthy lifestyle. I had to work on de-stressing myself. It was very uncomfortable for me because the fast-paced life had to get really, really slow now. And just listening to my body, taking that time, and I had to remind myself that it's not a quick fix anymore. You're done doing quick fixes. Now it's time to really take care of your health. My hormones started balancing well. I started telling people about it, letting people know the importance of health, my friends and families. And I even had like, friends starting to, call me. I have another friend who's going through something. Then since I was given advice so much, I felt, you know what, maybe I should get certified because I had already done
mm,
child nutrition. And I'm like, maybe I should go back to school. Eventually, I had to move to Canada, come to Canada. I'm like, you know what, I was so determined to study nutrition. I was looking for schools and I saw the Institute of Holistic Nutrition and everything that they do, it aligned with everything that I wanted to do. I got certified. Got more stressed because in school you get more stress, got more gut issues. I had to heal again. And yeah, so this is it. I'm so passionate about helping people. And when I work with a client and they tell me, oh my gosh, I haven't felt myself in such a long time and now I feel so much better just by healing their gut, it brings joy to me. And I don't
mm,
regret one day of choosing this field. And eventually I got a job at the gym that I work at. And just seeing people's lives transforming, their reviews,
mm,
them sharing their wins, it brings a lot of joy to me. And I want to help people out there. I want to help people in my niche with gut and hormone health. I want you to know that you don't have to give up. I was ready to
mm,
give up. You don't have to give up, right? You can heal. Your body can heal itself. Your body was designed to heal. And if you felt that you've gone through all of that, you've gone through the trends, you've done different nutrition programs and nothing stuck, I want to let you know that your body can heal again. Okay? Your body can heal again. So I'm really, really passionate about what I do. I love what I do. And another thing Joy said to me, you have to wake up with joy. We feel if you don't love what you do, then maybe it's not for you. I really, really love what I do, honestly.
yes, and I can see that glow and that joy in on your face, and I think that's what everyone needs to get to. You need to get to the point where you love what you do so well, because it's that love and excitement that will lead to confidence, and it's that confidence that will attract people to you. So I love that so much. So Krisie's going to help you heal your gut. So I'm going to add Krisie's details for you to contact her. It's going to be in the show notes if you're on the podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's going to be in the description. Krisie, before I let you go, and I think many people can benefit from hearing this, is when you work with clients and they give you amazing reviews, I want you to document those reviews and post them on your socials. Okay?
Yes.
Post them video reviews. And even though it's text, if they give you text, just do a screen grab and post it on your socials, right? So that
Thank
people
you.
can read and see how amazing you are.
I will. I will start doing that. I never thought of, actually, I never thought of doing that, but I'll start doing that. Yeah. Thank you, Joy. Yeah.
Yes, and this is what I find. People are so gracious to give you reviews, right? But the thing is, many people are so afraid to ask.
That's the thing. I feel like when sometimes I get the text, but I don't even look at it as a review.
Yeah,
But really, and I'm gonna start making it a habit of asking.
yeah,
Really, yeah. Because some people are ready to give reviews. Yeah.
yeah. Awesome. It's been a joy having you on the show, Chrissy.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so much for
Joy.
coming on and blessing us with your wisdom.
Thank you so much, Joy, for having me. I appreciate you. I love your podcast, so keep it going. And honestly, guys, you will learn so much from Joy. If you haven't subscribed to her podcast, please subscribe to her podcast today.
Thank you so much. And thank you for reminding me. Chrissy has a podcast too. So, Chrissy, tell us about your podcast.
My podcast is called Restore and Blossom, Faith to Heal Gut and Hormones Naturally. And I post every week. I talk on a lot about women's health, women's gut issue, well, gut issues and hormone health as well. So yeah, you can subscribe to my podcast and yeah, join in on the fun, get knowledge about your health and get knowledge about how your body can heal itself.
Yes, I'm going to grab the link as well. It's going to be in the show notes. Thank you so much,
Awesome.
Chrissy.
Thank you so much, Joy. Have a wonderful, wonderful after day for the rest of the day.
Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you have enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe and leave me a review. Share this episode with a friend to spread the message of hope, abundance, and possibility. And if you're ready to take the next step to amplify your voice, attract premium clients, and create consistent income, head on over to my website, www.joyroland.com, to learn more about my Joyful Money program or grab one of my free resources. Remember, making money can be joyful, and your story is powerful. Until next time, keep showing up, sharing your voice, and building the business of your dreams. Your voice is your power. Sending you lots of love, joy, peace, and light. Bye for now.